What's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BOOshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BOOshakalakapodcast.
This episode, but
Hey everybody, welcome back to a special little quickie episode. We had a request to review the Family Guy Peter Pumpkin Cheater episode, which aired on Hulu on October 14th. And this is going to be more of like a freestyle type of thing, because how do you review an episode of Family Guy? Who knows? Because, you know, they jump back and forth, so we're just trying to figure it out. But anywho, I'm your host, Tiffany, joined by my co-host, Pierre.
Thank you to everyone who has been asking about Jay. So as an update for Jay's whereabouts, he's out of rehab. But he's out of rehab. But so, and Tiffany knows this, and Jay's come down with a condition. It's a highly medical condition, you know, something very rare, vaginal rendezvous. So the way vaginal rendezvous works is that a vagina opens up and closes on different parts of your body. Just one, but it can be on your cheek, your forehead. Yeah. And so Jay's dealing with that. There is medication. It's very treatable. So that's why Jay is not with us this episode as well. But we wish Jay a speedy recovery. And let me just say this to our supporters out there. I thank you for asking about him. If you see Jay somewhere in a mall or out in public, go ahead and let him know, you know, Jay, I stand with you in your vagina. And, you know, that'll make him feel good. That Jay loves that. So please send him messages, condolences, whatever you can. He, you know, wishing for a speedy recovery for Jay. Yeah.
You're just adding fuel to the fire. So when he gets back, you know, it's on like Donkey Kong. He gets back.
I'm trying to get us a 3-hour episode.
Who's gonna do it? You think my laptop can hold 3 hours worth of us for talking?
You've done it before.
No, we have not. We have not. So the synopsis for this episode is Peter and his friends aim to unseat the reigning champion in Quahog's annual pumpkin contest by any means necessary.
Okay. But it's Family Guy, so I don't expect them to...
More like Peter and his friends destroy Joe's pumpkin, but decide to be good friends to help him out in the end.
Yeah.
Because they're jealous whores. I don't know.
This friendship dynamic has changed so much. Remember when Joe was like the cool guy on the street?
I have not seen Family Guy in so long. The only thing that's still relevant is Brian and Stewie's love-hate relationship and their hate for Meg.
That is crazy to me. Because it's just like,
why do they still hate Meg? I don't know what's going on.
They did give her that one episode where she went off on everybody. So she got her comeuppance.
But it didn't last. It didn't. When we first opened, I will say this episode did get a lot of laugh out loud moments from me. Mm-hmm. I was surprised.
No.
The Halloween and Ice Superstore.
Yes.
I used to work at Party City, so that was funny to me. Yes, people got dressed in them because we'd only have like 2 fitting rooms, and if somebody was like a parent was trying it on with their children as well, you SOL, you're not going to be able to do anything. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So that part is just a little tidbit in the beginning. They're looking for costumes. They have a little couple jokey jokes, and then we get to like the main pumpkin of this episode. So Joe has like the biggest pumpkin in town, and he wants to enter into the Quahog pumpkin contest, largest pumpkin contest. And Peter and Cleveland and Quagmire come over, and they're like, "Oh wow, you have a pumpkin. How'd you get it?" He's like, "Well, I wished for it." And they're just like, "What?"
They are so over him.
Yeah. So Joe basically enters into the largest pumpkin contest each year, and he always gets creamed by Patrick McCloskey. No idea how to spell that last name.
I hate that name.
It is written 15 different times in my notes. I don't know. And apparently he had a little rendezvous or something going on with Bonnie. They don't really touch on it, but again, Joe has now become the loser of Quahog, and I don't understand. I guess I need to go back a couple seasons.
I don't know when because I don't know when it happened. He was cool. I remember, you know, Peter was jealous of him, and then, you know, he was the cop. And
he was still whooping ass. Yeah, he was still whooping ass in the wheelchair.
Yeah, because he was all like, he was in a wheelchair, but he was still like that alpha male. Like Bonnie couldn't say no to him. It was just, it's weird how his dynamic has changed.
I don't know. But we see Stewie and Brian, and Stewie wants them to dress up as Sonny and Cher.
I can't even be mad. Because I'm trying to think of what's an iconic, like, gay couple like that. Yeah, that's still the only, you know, like Lady Gaga got to get married first because there's no other duo.
Oh, so. That's a good question. Like, what type of duo? Siegfried and Roy.
Go there. And Stewie, it kills me because he's still a baby, so he got that baby fat hanging. I'm just be like, Stewie, get the fuck. And Brian doesn't want to dress up as, he's like kind of over it. He's like, how do you know I didn't have plans for my friends? I have not seen Brian with a friend. How many seasons of Family Guy is there?
They got to be on like the teens, 13, 14, like, 15, 16.
I'm like, it friends.
It was a lot. They get into like this little argument and they basically break up. And because we did have Brian and Stewie in the costumes. So Brian leaves out of the room and Stewie's like, fine, I'll get Rupert to do it. Or Brian tells Stewie maybe Rupert should dress up as Sonny instead. And Stewie's like, fine, I'll get Rupert to do it. And then Brian comes back in with the mustache that Stewie got him for the Sonny outfit. And he throws it on the ground. He's like, here's your super realistic mustache. Like, where do you even get this shit from? And we get a kidney heist.
I wasn't expecting Tom. I was not expecting Tom.
I wasn't either. So much that I didn't even remember his name.
Yeah, because ever since his co-host got involved in that whole murder thing, I hadn't really seen
the
him on
lady.
Family Guy. Yeah, that was a great episode.
Right.
Now, that was a good episode.
Yes, and basically we have him in a tub full of ice, which is reminiscent of the kidney heist from Urban Legend, except for his mustache has been cut off his face, inside of his face is sewn up. Who thought of that? I want to meet them and shake their hand because I thought that was brilliant.
That was cute.
That was good. Oh, I forgot to mention, I don't know why this was funny to me. When Brian and Stewie were arguing, Stewie says, do you know how many Puerto Rican men came here to audition?
I don't know why
Why did he say Puerto Rican?
I don't know.
I don't, it's something. Okay, so they were over at the pub. What's their pub's name?
The Drunken Clam.
It is. So they're over at the Clam, and the guys are just chatting, and Joe keeps talking about his pumpkin, and Cleveland
is over. It came out of nowhere. You're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, wait, what the fuck? When did Cleveland?
It would have been so good if Cleveland would have came in and flipped the couch. Because remember he did that.
Yes.
I hate Bewitched. And he, well, that was a reasonable reaction.
Yeah.
The couch. I would have enjoyed him doing that, but they're just like really pissed, and Joe's like, you guys are just jealous. So basically, I'm just gonna go home. And the guys decide to steal the pumpkin, period. They have nothing else but steal the pumpkin. They make
it very clear that they have nothing else.
Put it. And it's a huge pumpkin. It's not like one that people be putting on their front yard. It's
the one in the photo.
Huge. Yes, that one, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brunja. Yeah, so is Brunja really a word for brown in Japanese?
Shut the fuck up. Stop it. You will not. Why did you freak? Pepperoni pizza also.
Charlie Brunja.
Oh my god, I hate him so much.
Then we skip over to Stewie, and he's basically trying to Frankenstein weird science Rupert into Sonny Bono. He has a bunch of
piss
cylinders.
What do you call them? Yeah, are they
beakers?
Beaker, thank you, Mr. Beaker.
Yeah.
And he got like Stephen Hawking's brain, Zac Efron's nipples, and then he goes back to grab Momoa penis, and I'm just.
And you see him rub it on Rupert's area under the sheets.
Because how do we even know? I've never seen a naked Hawaiian. Samoan.
I mean, I've never seen Jason Momoa's teen. So unless he pulls it out in a movie that we haven't seen. Who knows?
No, because he only showed his ass in Game of Thrones. I guess they just assume it because everything else is big.
We can't always do that though. Because those skinny ones will surprise the hell out of you. So it's like he's trying to Frankenstein Rupert. He has like this whole big contraption. He has Rupert tied down to a steel table, and he lifts it up into the sky. So I guess the thunder can get him. And this part, which is crazy, Stewie's flipping all the switches on his contraption, and Meg goes, "Hey, the power's out." And he's like, internet. Just wait a second. Oh, the internet's out. He's like, just wait a second. It'll come back on. And then you hear Chris, hey, the internet is out for me too. He's like, damn it, just wait a second. Just wait a second.
You guys can go a minute without the internet. Like, I didn't know why that was so relatable. I don't know why it was like so random. And they just threw that in there. And I was like,
because I'm pretty sure people that are like dealing with kids, like obviously we don't have kids here. When our internet goes out, we're like, oh shoot, the internet's out. We get up, we go check our modem and see what we're gonna do. Kids, they're not gonna do anything but yell, the internet is out. They're not gonna they're not gonna try to solve it and figure out what's going on. They want to scream till you fix it, basically. So he does the trick. Nothing works. Rupert comes down. He's like, Rupert. He's like, it's not alive. It's not alive, because obviously that it didn't work. Failed. And then we hear Chris, the internet's back on, and Meg says, the internet's back on for me. Reebok.com, baby.
And what was that? I don't know. What do you think they were leaning into the advertisements? Because remember they had the little clip of the the Doritos.
Okay, see
that
now
hadn't happened yet. But still,
right. So at that point, this didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, is it lame to wear Reeboks now? What's going on? So confused.
I wouldn't wear them.
Why?
I just wouldn't wear them.
Why?
I've never worn Reeboks. They've just never been. I wear Adidas where I wear Reeboks.
Adidas aren't good anymore either?
No, they are. I'm just saying, like, Reebok would be like, I would never go to the store and be like, hey, wear those Reeboks. Like, I do Nike. I don't do Under Armour. I'm not that workouty, but I'll just do Nike or Adidas. I like their shoes. You know, the ones with the little stripes. I like those shoes. They're cute.
Okay. I feel like I need to go get me a pair of Hoka's or something. What's them? The other walking shoes, the running ones.
What? You're not gonna
because I'm 40 and I have a bunion. Thank you very much.
Lord.
Hello, it's hereditary. Thanks, mother. So then we see the guys, the three idiots, over stealing the pumpkin. They realize they have no plan and they drop it. And all of the pumpkin seeds fall out onto Cleveland's shoes. He's like, they messed up my sneakers. And what's his name? Quagmire looks at him and is like, Cleveland, are those Yeezys? And he's like, they're cheaper now.
Like, random shit. Just even though it's Family Guy, it's just like,
now it all makes sense. Now this is making sense. You got a pair of Yeezys?
Mm-hmm. No.
You do? Oh,
no. Okay. I would never buy Yeezys. Are you crazy?
I was gonna say.
No. I'm just saying, like, these references are just, they're from somewhere, and I need to know who is watching our tweets and shit, because it just seems, I don't know.
It's just making sense now. It didn't make sense when I was watching the episode. I was like, what? But okay. So then we see Stewie. He's laying in bed with Rupert, and he's like, Rupert, this is our brand. Stop. Oh, why do I sound like Cartman?
First of all, why he's talking about Rupert? You wait. Oh, you are.
You are, right?
That again, it'd be relatable, but I'd be like, who's writing this shit?
Right. I think it probably happens with people with kids, and their kids do that. Mom, and they look over and see the mom's eyes open, like, oh, you are awake. He basically is confessing to Brian. He's so upset. He's confessing to Rupert that he's so upset that Brian didn't want to dress up as Sonny Bono for his contest. And he tells Rupert that he wishes that Brian was dead. He wishes Brian was dead. No takesies backsies. And then he leans over and he's like, oh, wait, Rupert. Oh, you are still awake. Okay, good night.
This part blew me away because I was like, damn, Stewie's still in the damn crib.
Right, this show's been coming on since like 99 or something. The 99 and the 2000s. I can't remember. So then we see Rupert rise up. Guess what, baby? It worked. And he is such a sophisticated young man. He is a sophisticated man.
Because
And
that's not
he
how
is
he talked before.
right. It was a new Rupert. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And then he's rhyming. He's basically like, I gotta go kill Brian because Stewie asked me to. So
then he eats the Doritos.
Oh, and he's like, yeah, but not till I eat these delicious Doritos. And then he says it was either this or 3 guys got fired, and then it went to commercial.
Yeah.
What's the guy name that made it up? Seth? Is his name Seth?
Seth MacFarlane.
I was about to say Seth Meyers.
He is. So you've heard him. You know he can sing, though, right?
Sure.
I hate you. You need to listen to his album. It sounds like Frank Sinatra. Like, he is such a good singer.
What's your favorite Family Guy song?
That's not fair. I like my favorite songs are when Stewie and Brian have their episodes and they do a little musical. So I can't do a favorite one. It's just there. Yeah.
Mm.
Gonna buy me a rainbow. Buy me a rainbow.
I was thinking we're off on the road to Rhode Island.
Yeah. That's old
so
school.
Then, this is how long ago I've seen this show.
Yeah.
So the guys are trying to put the pumpkin. They broke the pumpkin. They're trying to put the guts back in, and Joe comes out with the gun. I'm like, oh shit, Joe about to shoot somebody. And then Joe puts the gun to himself, and he's like, there's nothing worth living for. And then Peter does something that we never see him do. He's like, well, I'm gonna hide inside the pumpkin, so that we can keep it.
Yeah, he weighs 307 pounds. I'm so glad we know that now.
The exact weight of Joe's pumpkin, and he's gonna sit in the pumpkin so that it stays up. We get to the pumpkin show. This part was funny, and the announcer comes back. He's like, "Hello, I want to announce the winner of our pie something contest, Peter Griffin." And we see Peter inside the pumpkin. He's like, "Hey Joe, I gotta go up there." And Joe's like, "I'll get you a piece of pie later. We'll get the trophy later. You can wait." And she says, "The person with the pie trophy, it ensures that you get a free pie at all establishments that serve pie."
And
Peter jumped up.
Yabba dabba doing. I was like, that was funny. I don't know why. It was just it was
because we knew he was gonna do it.
Like
we knew his fat ass was gonna do it. He doesn't. But anyway.
Oh, also, and then a running gag in this episode is there's a rumor that something's going on with Bonnie and
Patrick.
Oh my God. I just realized that was his I did not realize that was Glenn Powell's voice. But that her and McCluskey got something going on. And every time they ask Joe about it, he's just like, "No, we just do pumpkin stuff." And I'm just like, so yeah, he's in denial. Because at this contest,
what's pumpkin stuff?
I don't know. Because we see little Bonnie rubbing on this man during the pumpkin contest. That's why I was like, oh wow, Bonnie, like that.
Yeah. So Brian got an argument with Stewie and says that he has his own friend. So we see him FaceTiming some rando, and behind him, Rupert is there with a knife getting ready to stab him, but he jumps away because he sees that Brian's on FaceTime. Brian is FaceTiming with somebody that I guess he met at a Top Gun movie premiere 3 years ago. This guy does not remember him.
Okay, that just made sense. Because Top Gun Maverick, Glenn Powell. Yeah, okay, that made sense. I was like,
and
so
and
random.
He's like, I don't know who you are. And then we cut again. Now we're back over at Joe. Joe wins the pumpkin contest. While he's sitting there, we see Patrick and Bonnie's rubbing on him, like you said, the pumpkin stuff. Joe wins the contest. I thought Bonnie was going to get up and go over to Joe.
We don't see Bonnie no more.
No,
you know, Family Guy don't be caring about continuity.
Not a. Only thing that continued was him fighting that damn chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll skip to Stewie trick or treating with Meg, and he sees that Rupert's still alive. Oh, the other running joke is,
I didn't understand this one. I don't know who that guy is. Okay.
Anthony Kiedis is from Nirvana?
Really?
No. And this is embarrassing. What was he from? What group was he in? He was in a rock group from the 90s.
Well, you figure that out. We also skipped the part where, so after Joe wins the contest, the pumpkin that Peter's in is taken to like the pumpkin patch in, I know, like it's a real place, province. And so now they have to go get Peter. So that's with the,
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
But apparently he looks like Sonny Bono today.
Okay, then.
If Sonny Bono was still alive. R.I.P. Sonny Bono. So Rupert sees Stewie and Rupert see each other, and Stewie's like, yes, it worked. Oh my God. You know, my creation worked. And he goes and talks to him, and Rupert's like, oh my gosh, Stewie, it's so happy. You know, I'm so happy to be here. And then he's like, now, if you just give me a moment, I got to go kill Brian. And Stewie's like, oh no, I was just mad for just a second. It's okay. I don't want to kill him. And Rupert's like, okay, cool, but I'll be back. I got to go kill Brian.
Like,
you said no takesies, backseat. Like, that's, the word is my bond. You know what I'm saying, cuz? And what's next? Oh yeah, so we're at the contest.
He disappears. Like he just disappears.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
Stewie's like, now I gotta find him to stop him from killing Brian. Okay, we had the pumpkin patch. So
I'm glad we're almost done with the pumpkin patch because that was the least funniest part.
Wrap this story up. So yeah, Peter's there, and so Patrick has followed Joe to the patch because Peter keeps talking inside the pumpkin, and Patrick's like, what the hell going on? And so every time Patrick approaches Joe and Joe is standing next to the pumpkin, he hears Peter talking. Peter, I laughed out loud when he was like, I'm suspicious. And Peter was like, yeah, I'm suspicious. Because he was like, Joe's pumpkin was like, what, 12 pounds last year? And now
80.
It's 80. And now it's 370 pounds. He's like, I don't trust it. And Peter's like, I'm suspicious too. And so he keeps hearing him talk. And so he goes and gets the judges. And so the judges come back and they're like, he's like, hey, this guy's cheating or whatever. And so Peter has to pee. And Joe's like, hold it, Peter, hold it. Of course, we all know who Peter is. So he pops out of the pumpkin just like he is there. And that's when it's exposed that Peter's in the pumpkin. And so he's like, oh, no, he needs to be disqualified. And so all the pumpkins in the patch, a bunch of fat guys pop out of them. And so they're like, oh my God. And so Joe's like, well, how do you win, Patrick? And he's like, well, I have my fat son sit in mine every year. So that's how everybody's been entering this competition. And so the judges are like, look, I only volunteered because my wife wanted me to do this. So how do we judge this? And so he says, oh no, the woman says, well, we can just judge who's the fattest fat guy. And Peter's like, okay, now this is getting me. And so we're wrapped on that end of that storyline. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Now this storyline is getting pathetic. Brian is at this horror movie graveyard drive-in thing. He got a blanket out waiting for his friends to come. This woman, he's on this grave. This woman will show up and she's like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just want to put these flowers on my father's grave. Brian said, look, I understand from your perspective, but my friends are coming.
So it's gonna be a no for me.
Like it was, and she just walked away gracefully. I'm like, because she was so nice about it. I was like, Brian is such an app.
I do find that weird that they have those. Period.
In the graveyard? Like, did they really do that in the graveyard though?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought it would be.
I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they do it on graves. They might have like a little area where they're able to do it. You know.
Okay.
Away from all the bodies.
People are still scared of graveyards, which I don't know why. Like those aren't the people you need to worry about.
Just them live motherfuckers.
Right. So yeah, he's there, and Rupert shows up, and Brian initially just thinks that it's a kid in a bear costume dressed up as Sonny Bono, and he walks away again because he goes to the bathroom. And so Rupert is set on killing this man. And Stewie runs in, still dressed as Cher. And he
asked the guy. He asked the guy that was sitting next to Brian. He's like, "Hey, did you see a dog and a bear dressed up as Sonny Bono?" The guy was like, "Ha, nothing of the sort. But I did see a dog and a guy dressed like Anthony Kiedis."
They kept this joke was. They was gonna get his ass. I don't know what he did to the Family Guy writers, but
yeah, he pissed somebody off. He did, definitely pissed somebody off.
I've never heard of a graveyard bathroom. I've never. It just looked dirty.
This part was funny. Stewie finds them in the bathroom, and Brian is being strangled by Rupert. And Stewie goes, "Oh no, I'm too late." And Brian says, "You're not too late." And Stewie's like, "Are you sure?"
Because I feel like by the time I got involved, it would be too late. I don't know where they came up with that shit. I have never, like, excuse me? Like, it's
Like, why are you hesitating? You can still hear him.
right.
If he's choking, he's still alive.
Baby, yeah. So he intervenes, and it's weird. This part was interesting because, like, Stewie keep like fighting Rupert off, and Rupert doesn't actually try to kill Stewie. He just keeps trying to go for Brian. I thought that was cool because it was, usually they'll turn on you at that point, but no, he's still trying to, yeah.
But Rupert has his moment, his big speech. He's like, I'm always second fiddle to Brian. You only come to me when you have problems. I feel like this as a friend sometimes. It's very annoying,
Which is fair because Rupert, we've been seeing, Rupert is a day one as well. Rupert is a character on this show. And
I wish they would have left him alive and let him change. That would have added more funny. That would have been fun. Oh, and he tells Stewie, and you know what? My name isn't even Rupert, it's Jerry.
He's like, I've been hanging out with a Jerry. Facts.
It would have been so much. Have you ever seen Hoodwinked?
No.
Oh my God. There's a part on there where the villain's name, so the bad guy is like, Hans, go get him. Natasha, go get him. And Keith, because these are the three henchmen, Hans, Natasha, and Keith. And he's like, and Keith, change your name. Who's going to be scared of Keith? Oh, I'm so scared of Keith. And I cannot, to the life of me, meet somebody named Keith without thinking about that part in the movie. It is amazing.
It's funny that you say that during a Family Guy review. Because remember that episode where it was like they had to list the most unattractive male name?
And Keith was on it.
They were stealing something from Lois's dad's house, and that was his password.
Oh my God.
I never thought about it. I think
oh, change your name. But anywho, so Rupert is still not giving up. He does a slow-mo run to try to stab Brian, and he gets slammed by Stewie, and then we have a doll and kid fight, and Stewie drowns Rupert in the toilet while singing If I Could Turn Back Time.
In the public bathroom. So,
if I could turn back time.
And so Brian comes up and he's like, "Oh my God, you chose me!" Like, and they make up. They feel all good inside, and so
I feel good all over.
It's funny because he doesn't take Rupert with him, but in the end, we see that Rupert is being watched by Lois, and she hands him, and he's regular old doll again. And Stewie just starts back talking to him and answering for him and doing his little thing. And then Lois is just like, but he's talking like literally about what happened. Like, oh yeah, remember how you tried to kill Brian and murder, and Lois is like, I wonder what they talk about. And end of special.
I haven't seen Family Guy in a very long time, so I'm gonna give it how many laugh out loud moments I had, and I had about 6 laugh out loud moments. I actually was like, it didn't last that long, but I did laugh out loud. It was an okay special. I feel like they've toned it down a little bit. It did.
Okay. But maybe it was just a special though, because I haven't really seen. So on Twitter, they'll, because I'm saying Twitter, not X, because fuck him. But on Twitter, they post clips of stuff. Like, did you ever see when they did a Christmas home invasion and they killed the whole family?
I feel like I did.
And I've never seen that before. And I was like, oh my God. So maybe it's just the special. Maybe it was just this, because it was, because they really made this a special thing. Because even when you go look at it, like there are seasons and then there's this exclusive special. And I was like, are we just doing this because Glenn Powell's in the episode? Because why?
I think the worst thing they did was what's the old man's name with the walker?
Herbert. I forgot Herbert was in this damn episode.
Yes.
Explain that to me. Because why did he do that? Because Herbert goes and he's like, I'm doing spring cleaning, and then he goes to someone's house and says, "Oh, I'm a registered sex offender," and I didn't understand that gag.
I don't know. Or he said, I got to clean out the neighborhood. Something he said. I don't know. Or maybe people will move because they know that he's a sex offender.
He went to a brown man's a house. So maybe that's what he was doing.
Well, we know who Herbert's voting for. Gross. But that will do it for the Family Guy special. Oh, did you rate it?
Oh
no.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I get a 7 because there have been better episodes than this.
Right. And just FYI, we will not be reviewing another episode of Family Guy. Halloween specials. This was a request.
Yeah.
Thank you for the request. I did still enjoy the episode, but it's kind of hard to do Family Guy because you think the movies go back and forth. Family Guy, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like it's hard to say a main course. It was. I was happy that we watched it though.
Yes. I was not upset. But yes, so pulling out my calendar to let you guys know what's going on, the agenda of events for the Booshakalaka people. Next Sunday, October 20th, we will be reviewing Halloween, 1978's Halloween. And on October 27th, we will be reviewing the classic tale of the most popular girl, Louise. Join us for Teen Witch on October 27th.
Oh my god! Oh, that's gonna get. That's gonna get a lot of views.
Love girl.
Top that! Stop that! I don't really give up, and I want to top that because I'm hot, and you're not.
And you're not.
Break
and if you want to get with me, I'll give it one shot. Top that.
Oh
all right, guys.
God.
Have a good one. Bye. We're old. We are. Bye.
Bye.
Where did you hide it, Dan?